Harley Quinn Season 4 just dropped on Max, at least the first 3 episodes. I'm only going to talk about the first 2, just because I'm short on time to watch these when I'm recording this video, so I'm going to review episode 3 and 4 next week. So when 4 drops next week, I'll talk about episode 3. Thank you guys for understanding. Yeah, just want to clarify that before I got a bunch of comments like, you didn't talk about episode 3. I'm doing it next week. Chill. I really enjoyed these first 2 episodes. I thought these were really good. And what I liked about them is they changed the dynamics of the series in such an interesting way, which is really good 4 seasons into a show. So after the events of last season, Harley is now working with the Bat family, training to be a hero. And then we got Poison Ivy, who's now on the Legion of Doom, and she's being a villain. And I really like that aspect. I do have some speculation about that. So we have these 2 characters who are in a relationship, but they're on very different sides of the law. And I could see that being a conflict where they break up at the end of the season. I hope they don't do that, because one of the most sellable aspects of the show is that Poison Ivy are an on-screen lesbian relationship, which is not something that gets represented often enough in TV or just in general. And it'd be nice to see one that's healthy and doesn't have little breakups like that. Maybe it can have fights, but not necessarily breakups, if that makes sense. And I just think that, but if it happens, it happens. I'm sure they'll get them back together, right? I'm not saying they'll be permanent, but I'm just saying if it happens, I'll be fine with it, but I prefer not to. The first episode, just getting us into the swing of things is really neat. And also seeing Professor Pig, or I think that's what he's called. I forget his name. He's a very underrated Batman villain, very creepy, and they don't shy away from that in the episode, and the way Harley just murders him is great. And then seeing Alfred in the second episode train Harley and then turn out to be a villain, it's like, ooh. He apparently wanted to get caught to see Master Bruce, who's in prison. So there's a lot of aspects to why everything's changed in the show, and it's really cool, actually, and I like where the story is going, and I'm actually engaged. This is the most I've been engaged in a Harley Quinn season. No offense, but people really hyped up the show for me when it first was starting out, and I just really caught on late to the show, and I was like, I'm not really a big fan of this show. I mean, it's okay, the story's alright, but a lot of the stuff that people were really interested in just didn't grab me the way it grabbed others. But I still really like this season so far, and it might be my favorite season of the show, and it's great.